Hello there, Schroeder Raiders, and welcome to our next episode of the Schroeder Spotlight. We have our first eighth grade teacher who has graciously joined us today. She was requested by a few students. Welcome to the program, I guess, to Miss Aafedt. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm honored to be here. When I found out that I had been selected, I was like, wait, what? Kids want to know about me? Oh, okay.
Yes, they definitely want to know. So, and I think after this little 10-minute interview, we will know more about Miss Aafedt than we ever did before. So
There you go.
we'll
There you go.
get to go deep dive on some of her.
Deep in the heart.
Yes. All right. So here's our first question. So this is a pretty standard one for every interview here. How long have you been at Schroeder? And then what classes have you taught or do you teach presently?
Well, this is my first official year of being at Schroeder. I teach regular 8th grade pre-algebra, and then I teach 9th grade algebra, and then 10th grade enriched geometry. So those are for kids that are still in 8th grade, but then they're in advanced math. So even though this was my first official year, I did my student teaching a year before in 7th grade math, where I got to do regular 7th grade math and pre-algebra. So kind of got to be all over the board.
Awesome. So you're kind of in a unique situation, one that I have kind of gone into as well, is where you've had, some kids I've had 6 kids in 6th grade and 7th grade, and now I'll have kids in 8th grade. What's it like having those kids now as 8th graders that you had as 7th graders? Have you enjoyed that, or do you look at them and say, I'm totally sick of you, I wish you were on your team?
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And when I when I was offered the 8th grade math position, that was instantly the first thing that I thought of, was that I'm going to get to have the same students that I had in 7th grade when I was student teaching again. Sometimes I'm just like, oh my gosh, because I know them so well. But for the most part, it's been absolutely fantastic, and it's gonna be really hard to say goodbye to them in a couple of weeks. So I hope they keep me in the loop and let me know how high school's going for them. So
yeah, so all you guys that go off to high school, it's always fun to hear back from you. So
absolutely.
I know I've got a bunch of kids who've been emailing me since we've gotten to this distance learning that I haven't talked to in a long time. So it's great to hear from you. So don't forget about us in middle school.
Absolutely.
You haven't been at Schroeder for a real long time, but what do you think the most important item a new student needs to know when they come to Schroeder?
I think the most important thing is our slogan, so to speak, that everyone matters. I think that it represents everything that we are here at Schroeder. Something that I noticed right away when I was student teaching, so first getting used to the school, is that everyone here is so kind to each other. Holding the door open for each other, or saying excuse me, like all these different things that really show that everyone does matter. And so I think that's a really important perspective to take on when you become a student at Schroeder.
Yeah, and that plays right into you guys. There's students at Schroeder. That's there's way more of you than there is of us. So that atmosphere, a lot of that is based on the way you guys act and what you do in class and in the hallway. So thank you for that as well.
Yep. And quick little fun fact: when I was done with student teaching, but still waiting to apply for different jobs, I did a lot of subbing. And every morning I would get a list of the teachers that need subs. And most of the time the jobs at Schroeder were taken. And that means that teachers want to, or substitutes want to go to Schroeder because the kids are so awesome. So I had trouble getting into sub to Schroeder because other teachers were taking it. So that speaks to you guys.
Yes, definitely. Kind of moving away from school just a little bit. What would you say is your most prized possession, and why is it so important to you?
So this sounds pretty little kiddish, very little kiddish actually, but I have this blanket that my grandma made for me when I was born, and I've had it ever since. I keep it in my room and just kind of like lay it out on my bed every morning after I've made my bed, and it just reminds me of when times were simpler, all the good memories from childhood, and it brings me a lot of comfort.
Yeah, I have 2 blankets that one of each of my grandmothers have made for me, and I still have them. they're down in a box, but I still have them. So
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So if middle schoolers, if you feel that you're embarrassed because you still have your blanket, I promise you it's not weird.
it is not weird, no. But we will get to blankets later on in rapid fire, so we'll come back,
Okay.
circle
All
back with
right.
blankets.
Sounds good.
Um, what's the either the best piece of advice you've ever received from someone, or maybe even a theme you live by, if you can't think of a specific piece of advice that someone's given you?
Yeah, and actually I wrote it down on a sticky note, so I'll read it here. It's a quote that I found about a year ago, and I think it's really really good. And I try and remind myself of this. So it's never regret a day in your life. Good days give happiness, bad days give experience, worst days give lessons, and best days give memories. So I think that speaks to me because there are a lot of times where I'm super hard on myself, and if I've had a bad day, I'll blame it on myself. I could have done something better, I could have done something differently. And then if you stop and look at it, you're like, wait, but what did I learn from this? What experience did I gain, and how am I a better person because of this? So I try and remind myself of that. Doesn't always happen. Sometimes I need my family or friends to go, okay, wait a second, let's think about this again. But that's what I really try and live by.
Good. Yeah, there's always something hopefully positive to take from any situation, good or bad,
Yep.
hopefully.
Yep. Absolutely.
Right. Has there been a teacher or coach that's had an impact on your life, and why were they so important?
I thought of two. So first one was my third grade teacher. And the reason is because we laughed so much in that class, and she truly made learning a joy. It wasn't a task to come to school. We were truly a family, and we felt very, very safe and comfortable with one another. And then the second one is my seventh grade math teacher, and she's actually still in her same classroom as she was when I was there. And she's actually turned into one of my mentors. And so that's been kind of cool to go back and touch base with her and get some lesson plan ideas. And the reason why she was such an inspiration to me is she showed me how math is so related to real life. And we did so many cool projects that incorporated math in the real world. And I was like, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to be when I grew up at that point, but I was like, if I become a teacher, I want to be like her. I want to be like her and help kids see that.
So have you been able to tell these either one or both these people about the impact they had on you?
I have, yeah, I have been able to do that. I have my third grade teacher. I have her phone number, and we text back and forth every once in a while. And then the seventh grade math teacher, I see her at math meetings all the time, and we joke around and talk about, how much things have changed, but how much yet things have still stayed the same. So pretty cool connections. Everything comes full circle, that's for sure.
Yeah. So um, I think I know who your seventh grade math teacher was. I'm just guessing off the top of my head, because I'm kind of narrowing it down. I'm assuming you went to South,
I did go to South. Yep.
and my guess is that it's Mrs. Dahlslager.
It was. Yes. 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 There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Well, I've spent some time at South, so I know Mrs. Dahlslager as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, she is pretty awesome.
She is very, very, very good math teacher.
Yes, good. If you could, well, let's get back here. So still kind of talking about learning from others. What's the one thing you've learned from a student?
I would say, and I've learned that this year especially, that there's always more than one way to solve a problem. And it's something that math teachers, they say they teach, like, oh, there are multiple problem solving strategies or all these sort of stuff. And I encourage students to think outside the box. But without a doubt, every time I introduce something new, there's a kid that goes, yeah, but Miss Aafedt, what if you do it like this? And I'm just like, oh, yeah, I meant to teach you that. And so my eyes have been open to all the different ways that you truly can solve a problem in math. So kids teach me stuff all the time. Teach me new ways all the time.
There you go. Good job, kids. If you could spend a day with a famous person from history or the present, who would it be and why?
I would have to go with Zac Efron. And the reason I'd have to go with Zac Efron is because when I was in fifth grade is when High School Musical came out. And when we were there, all of the fifth grade girls were just, oh, we were just had our fifth grade crushes on Zac Efron. And so I think it'd be really interesting to talk with him as to what that experience was like. What is it like making movies now? So that would be my one person to go to.
Would you try to kind of reenact a scene from High School Musical if you were with
I
Zac Efron?
Oh my gosh, I would be so excited if we could do the dance.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I still kind of know the dance, or the dances, I should say. That'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. I think I would be in complete shock.
Hey, if anybody knows Zac Efron out there, you know who's looking to meet him
Yeah,
here. So
that would be absolutely awesome. And now I'm sure there's probably like a historical figure. There's some important historical figures that I would like to have a conversation with too. But I was like, you know what? I gotta kind of have a fun answer for this one. I gotta go with Zac Efron.
yeah, he's historically significant, I would
There
say.
you go. There you go.
All right, I've got a couple questions from students here that
Yeah,
I'm going to ask you. So my first one is, are you enjoying your first year at Schroeder? Is the first one.
absolutely. I love it so much. I've told people that it's my dream job. It I couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier.
Good. And then the second one, what has been different than you expected going into this year?
I have learned that it takes such a long time to correct. Such a long time to correct. So here's a math problem for you guys. If it takes 5 minutes for me to correct a student's test and I have 60 students, how many minutes is that? And then convert that back to hours. The answer is 5 hours. It would take 5 hours. And so a lot of times kids don't realize how long it takes. And I didn't realize going in how long it truly takes to give good feedback to students. So kids, please be patient as we're grading your tests.
Yes, and that's without
Or
anyone
projects.
interrupting you, right? Because you don't always get that hour straight to just knock them out.
Oh yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it takes a while. It's not an easy job.
No. Well, good. All right. So now we're going to get into our rapid fire questions. These are the ones
All
where
right.
just
Gotta
something that
stretch out.
pops into your mind.
Okay.
Um, people say there's no wrong, answers to questions like this, but there definitely are, and we'll see how you answer
Okay.
them. So,
All right.
all right, here's our
Yeah,
first one.
I gotta get in the zone. All right.
When you hear the alarm in the morning, do you hit the snooze button or do you get up right away?
Oh, snooze. Absolutely. This morning it took me 20 minutes to get up.
So you're a two snooze, maybe?
Oh, yeah. But I'm also the person that I set, like, if I need to get up by 7, I'll set like 15 alarms before then just to make sure that I actually get up. So it'd be like 6:45, 6:47, 6:51, just to make sure that I actually get up. So, yeah.
So if we were to look at your phone, let's say you'd have a whole bunch of alarms.
Oh, I have
Or,
tons of alarms. I have like alarms for the weekend, alarms for I was actually going through it the other day and I found one at like 2 in the morning and I was like, when did I need to get up at 2 in the morning? So yeah, I don't know.
maybe High School Musical was on or something.
Maybe that's the case.
The callback kids right there. What's the last thing you read digitally or in print?
Actually, right before we were getting ready to start this interview, I got an email that there's lots of different math teacher blogs I subscribe to. And the article was called 5 Apps to Help You with Your Online Remote Teaching. So I don't know. I started reading it, but then our interview started. So I don't know. We'll have to go back and see what other apps I can include in my classroom.
Okay. All right. When you're making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, whether it's now or when you were younger, do you put the peanut butter or the jelly on first?
Well, I do peanut butter on one piece of bread and then jelly on the other, and then I put them together.
Together.
I never
Okay.
put like everything on just one slice of bread. I got to do peanut butter and then jelly and put together.
Put them together. Okay. And then once you have this sandwich that's made, do you cut it diagonally or horizontally?
Usually I'm so hungry, I just don't even cut it. I just like bite right into it, eat the sandwich whole.
Okay. Nice. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Um, would you rather be the best racquetball player in the world, or would you rather find $75 on the street?
I would have to go with racquetball player because I feel like I'm not good at that. And so to be able to say that I was good at it would just it'd be a nice fun fact, to introduce yourself with, be like, hey, just so you know, I am also, the best racquetball player in the world. So
Yeah. By the way, you're looking at big time here, right? Yeah.
yeah,
Best
yeah,
racquetball player in the world.
air flip.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, lots of money in racquetball endorsements, I'm sure. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even though I can't, $75 would sound very nice right now.
yeah.
So
Would you rather give up your phone or junk food forever?
I would have to go with junk food. I'm actually kind of weird. I don't really like junk food. I am kind of a health nut. Like I eat lots of fruits and vegetables. I mean, I still like some sorts of desserts and stuff from time to time, but it would not be hard for me to give that up entirely.
Um, Next, it's morning time in this situation, and you get up and you've got three choices. What are you picking? Pancakes, waffles, or French toast?
I would have to go with French toast. And actually, I would have to go with peanut butter French toast. What you do is it's like you make a peanut butter sandwich, just no jelly, so peanut butter sandwich, and then you dip it in the French toast mixture, and then, oh, so good. Peanut butter gets all melty. Good times.
So now, those of you that are watching all of our episodes, we've had a recipe for French toast now, essentially. And Mrs. Aiken, whose video will be posted shortly, um, she gave us a recipe for pancakes. So
Wow.
with that,
There you go. We got like coronavirus breakfast menu all ready to go for you guys.
yeah.
So
So somebody has a good waffle recipe. That's got to be next. Okay.
there you go.
All right. This is a tough one. Would you rather brush your teeth with soap or drink sour milk?
That both of those are just absolutely disgusting. But I would have to go with brush your teeth with soap because you can spit that out. Whereas like drinking the sour milk, that's like going into you. No, like
Yeah.
spitting out with soap, you can at least get it out.
Yeah, that's my thought too, right? And
Hmm.
soap is made for cleaning, so I mean that's yeah,
Right,
perfect.
right,
Perfect.
exactly.
Okay. This one is called the Mr. Halverson question. Um, do you dip your French fries in ketchup, or do you put ketchup directly onto the French fries?
Well, this is probably really bad to say, but I really don't eat French fries, like going back to the junk food thing. But if like maybe like once a year, I'll have a few fries. I would definitely dip. I'm not gonna pour the ketchup on there. I'm definitely a dipper.
Okay, good. Um, do you like going to the movies, or do you prefer watching at home?
Watching at home, you can wear your pajamas, get your favorite blanket, and it's way cheaper. I like going to the movies, but way cheaper at home.
Okay, so now here's going to be another callback to the blankets we talked about earlier. There is a new, I don't know, trend, fad, what have you, where people are bringing their own blankets to movie theaters. Where do you stand on that?
Um, yeah, I'm gonna say no. Not because I'm creeped out by people like bringing their blankets to the movie theater. I guess if other people want to do that, that's fine. But for me, I wouldn't want to because I just think of all like the gross germs and stuff that are there, and I wouldn't want my blanket to be, getting all those germs because then you go home and your blanket smells like movie theater, has movie theater germs. Just probably not. Probably not gonna happen.
I agree. I agree. There are things that separate us from animals, and that is definitely one of those things.
Yep, yep, absolutely, absolutely.
All right, our last question is a gym related question. Would you rather play hide and seek or dodgeball?
I would have to go with hide and seek. And actually, this goes back to when I was a kid. We would play hide and seek tag in our neighborhood. We had some pretty epic hide and seek tag battles. I always liked it because I was kind of the older one in our neighborhood, so I was always the fastest, so I would always tag other people and then go hide, and I always had the best hiding places. So I would go with hide and seek, specifically hide and seek tag.
Have you ever played kick the can? Do you know
I
that game?
haven't. No, I haven't.
That's a game that we played when I was younger, where it was kind of like tag, but there's a can you
Okay,
have to kick. So we just
gotcha.
played with cans when
Gotcha.
I was a little kid. We didn't
Hey,
wasn't
there you go.
excited.
We didn't need phones to keep us entertained. We could just
Yeah,
kick a can.
we just had a can.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah. Well, that's our last question. I want to thank Miss Aafedt, for being our guest today and answering all of our crazy questions. So, goodbye for now, Schroeder Raiders. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week.
Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you later.